Welcome to month number 2 and week number 5 in Project 70. Today, you know you're living right if you're tops and generating this much controversy on the first day of the new week. On the back of his cards, there is a QR code and it generates a curated playlist for the card. Cartoon, tattooed CC Sabathia, and there is a real true love and connection between artist and subject. So while there was an undeniable connection between CC Sabathia and Cartoon for his recent release, that card unfortunately did not connect as well with the consumer base for Project 70. And welcome to episode number 13. My name is Chris, otherwise known on Twitter and Instagram is at CRT_sportscards. And my website, crtsportscards.com, is where you want to go for everything related to Project 70 and also Project 2020. And this weekend, I released for the second straight week pricing on the base cards and the foil cards that are live in Project 70. So if you've not checked out the website, check that out. I've also separated the groups now, the columns, to make it easier to reference what the foil pricing is and the base cards. I will tell you right now, on the base cards, every single one at the moment, there are 36 live cards. Every single one of them is still selling for over the base entry price of a card, which is $14.49. So that is good to see nearly 1 month into the set. And on a complete random side note here, over the next few weeks, next month, I'm really trying to get better at Instagram. I know a lot of people here follow me strictly on Instagram, and photos are not necessarily my forte. So if you notice me posting more and more on Instagram, it's because I'm trying to get better at the IG game. So if you have any tips or suggestions, definitely leave a comment below, along with your upcoming print run guests for the card I'm giving away free tonight. But now let's get to the cards at hand. We had 3 brand new fresh releases today, more second player cards from Bobby Hundreds, from Distorted with 2Ds, and one of the fan favorites, Blake Jameson. Along with that, this morning we saw all 9 print runs from the weekend cards. And so when you think back to the weekend, which card was your favorite? When it came to the leader in the clubhouse, the #1 seller last week, obviously is that Satchel Paige by DJ Ski. That print run coming in 5,368. Over 1,000 cards sold, more than the average right now in Project 70. So it's very obvious that DJ Ski is not only sort of engaging with the community in the right way, he's producing product that's going to continue to sell, because that now is 2 very strong releases from him. For over 14,000 cards he sold with his Babe Ruth and now his Satchel Paige. But then on the flip side of that DJ Ski Satchel Paige, you have Ichiro by Chinatown Market, and you have, very surprising, the Jose Canseco by Matt Taylor. And by the way, on the Wednesday episode, I will release and announce the winners from the last 2 print run contest winners, that Canseco being one of them. But when you take a look at the Ichiro by Chinatown Market, just over 2,300 were sold. The average print run right now in Project 70 is 4,100. So that is nearly 50% below the average. I bought 1 copy of the card. I didn't know how well it was going to be received, and it just wasn't received that well. Just kind of like that CC Sabathia by Mr. Cartoon, just over 2.5. But I think the one that surprised me the most, and it's because of what happened on the secondary market with his Mark McGuire, that Matt Taylor Jose Canseco just beat out that Ichiro. But when you took a look at eBay over the weekend, his Mark McGuire, sort of the first half of that card, and I showed on the video on Friday when that card was released, that card nearly doubled in value over 4 days. And so on my pricing for Project 2020, I always do a midweek update Tuesday through Friday. And that card for the past 7 weeks had been basically $20. And then all of a sudden that card jumps to $36. And by the way, that's $36 on average over 29 sales over the course of 4 days. So it wasn't like just a couple sold at 40 bucks. There was actual demand for this card, and it drove up the price nearly 50%. And that's what makes the print run for the Canseco being so low so surprising. But then again, as I spoke about on last week's video, Matt Taylor's cards, for whatever reason, just have not been that well received. I don't understand the issue, why his cards are not being received. And also when you factor in the McGuire pricing, I thought we'd see a number easily over 3,000, but this Canseco unfortunately did not move the needle last week. But I will say with about 110% certainty, the 3 cards that released today are going to move the needle all in the right direction. First up, we have Bobby Hundreds with his Darryl Strawberry. This is now Strawberry's second card in Project 70. Surprising that he has 2 and Trout has 1, but it is nice to see the artist taking a different path and not always picking the easy subjects. In saying that though, we do have Blake Jameson releasing his Ronald Acuna Jr. This is Acuna's 3rd card in Project 70, and unfortunately for Jameson, he has to follow up that Alex Pardee. So a very tough order to follow up a near 15,000 printed card. And then joining Blake Jameson and Bobby Hundreds is Distorted with 2Ds. Fresh off her release of Pedro Martinez, we have her releasing Albert Pujols. And this is Pujols' 2nd card in Project 70. His first release, of course, was the card by Soulfly of 1990 Topps. But this is what confuses me the most about this set. Art is 110, if not 120, 130% subjective to the viewer. So when you take a look at Bobby Hundred's Darryl Strawberry, I would say outright vitriol or outright just sort of slander of the card today, I think was just sort of out of bounds. Look, he is an artist in the set. He is making his cards known. He is producing an error set. This is what his card looks like, and this is what his set is going to look like. You know what? There are 1,020 cards in this set. You are not going to like probably 950 of them, and that's okay, because you know what? There are 10 people out there who are going to like the 100 you hate, and vice versa. So instead of sort of bashing the card, why don't you celebrate for what it is? It is a unique take on an 18 card set in Project 70 that speaks to him, the artist. And here again, this set is going to win because it's about the artist's passion of the subject. And instead of spending time bashing the card, why don't we spend time figuring it out? Because it's more than an error card, and Bobby Hundreds has dropped a lot of hints today in his replies on Twitter around this card. I'm a buyer of this card. When I have this card along with the Ken Griffey Jr., and I'll tell you right now, the Ken Griffey Jr., the moment I saw that card, my mind wanted to flatten out the card. And it's not possible, but my mind said to flatten out the left side. And that right there tells me that card is a winner. And right now, it is one of my favorite cards in Project 70. I don't know where this card's going to stack up right now, but all I know is I appreciate Bobby Hundreds taking a unique approach to his set in Project 70. And so while I will not be giving away that Darryl Strawberry by Bobby Hundreds for free tonight, that leaves us the Blake Jameson Acuna and the Distorted Pujols as the potential giveaway cards for tonight. Taking a look at Distorted's Pujols card, there is a chicken feast, home run chicken feast in his belly. And when you think about what drives Pujols, it's a little more than chicken dinner, but it's a really, really interesting sort of side dish in his belly right there, along with the fact that Pujols, again here, has only one eye. But if you follow Distorted on Twitter, you understand the one eye on the players. But this one is going to be, I really think it's going to be an interesting result. People are going to try to find an angle here and play the edge and think that people are going to miss this card again. But unfortunately, I don't think it's going to get missed. This print run is not going to be low. We're not going to end up with another $74, $75 secondary market card. This card could be high. And also, it's Pujols' 2nd card in the set. And his first one, as we talked about a second ago, was not that widely received. So this one I'm not giving away because I'm still not sure. Am I a buyer or am I not a buyer? So I'm going to pass on giving this one away, because I think Jameson's Acuna is going to be a very, very tricky one to guess the print run right, and I really want to reward the person correctly who wins that card. So here are the rules for the giveaway, and they're very simple. Number 1, be subscribed to the channel. If you're not subscribed, do yourself a favor, hit that subscribe button. And number 2, put your print run guess below in the comments. The person nearest the print run without going over when it will win this card free for me when it comes to Blake Jameson's Ronald Acuna. And when you take a look at this Acuna, this card does what I think it should when it comes to what I like to see from Blake Jameson. When I remember his Project 2020 cards, his favorite card to me is his Cal Ripken Jr. You have the blue background with the Ripken. The colors are sort of really polar opposite of each other, but it really makes the player stand out. Your eye is drawn to the background, but then you notice the player. And he did the exact same thing on the Acuna. You have that lime green, bright green background on an 87 Topps card. So look, the background with the green, they don't go together at all. But it works because it makes the player stand out. You really get sort of a three-dimensional feel of this card. And so the $1 million question right now is, how high will this card get? Will we see 6, 7, or 8,000? Or could this Jameson Acuna rival the Alex Pardee Acuna monster from a couple of weeks ago? We're about to find out in the next 60 to 70 hours. With that, have a fantastic Monday evening, and I'll see you back on Wednesday night for episode number 14 of the Project 70 Show.